guys, I'm back with a second video. This one is 8 by 4 if you go all the way to the edge of the lace here. And it's one of the waterfall type journals, and I have seen it on several different YouTube channels. One that comes to mind is Lori Girl on the Ridge. And I used an old envelope to make the cover, and I cut it down. I have some really odd shaped envelopes, and so I just cut them and use them, cut them down to the size I need and use them that way because they are awkward size. Anyways, I have used some appliques, some beautiful trim, embroidered trim. There's some creepy cloth, some seam binding that I made a bow, and I attached a little bulb clip with a little dangle here. And then the back, I just wrapped this pretty trim over, and then I just attached a little decorative piece here on the back. The closure is a seam binding, and then this little picture was just in my stash. It was printed off of the internet. And now on the inside, this I have not put a lot of decorations in here. I've left a lot of space for journaling in this one. And here is a vintage piece of tape. And then I just glued the piece of coffee dyed paper on the front here to give it some more depth here on this front page. This is actually vintage tape. I found it in a box of stuff I picked up, and so I put a piece here, and then I've stitched on some of this really pretty French style lace here. The papers are coffee dyed, and this one here I've used my dolly to give the lace effect on it. This is a vintage sheet music page, and I've attached a little snippet here, and that snippet is made with a paper towel, some seam binding, and some fabric. And these pieces of paper towels, I dry my stuff inside the microwave, and so I set these paper towels in there, and this is what I get. And so I use those instead of just throwing them away. I use them in my projects. Some more coffee dyed papers. This is an old notebook sheet out of a notebook. And here we have a piece of vintage fabric, a piece of the trim that's on the spine of the book, and then here is another piece of seam binding. And then here again is the paper towel with the fabric and the seam binding. Made a little snippet. Here's the other side of that. Again, I've just taken some seam binding and stitched on the edge here. There's the other side of that vintage sheet music. And then I love this trim. It's a pretty kind of a deep gold trim. And there's the other side of that dolly dyed paper. And this is parchment paper. There again is another snippet with the paper towel, the seam binding, and the fabric. And like I said, I've left a lot of room in here for writing, or you can decorate it yourself. And then here is another snippet with the paper towel, the seam binding, and the fabric. And then there again is the back. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe if you're not a subby, and have a blessed day. Bye.